Yo, what's up, Purple people? Welcome back
Chill.
to the Purple Underground YouTube channel. I
Yeah.
am Micah, aka C capital M to the S in the flesh, and I got with me my big brother in purple, P Ross, in the building,
Yo, what up, people?
representing.
Chilling, chilling, chilling.
Yeah. So today's video, we're going to briefly talk about the trendy topic that went on in the purple community uh, Monday of September the 16th. Sinead O'Connor
Uh,
um, came out putting our beloved Prince Rogers Nelson on blast in a TV interview over in the UK.
yeah.
Um, so the interview goes where they were discussing with Sinead O'Connor about her career, I guess her coming back and talking about her the song "Nothing Compares to You," which was a big hit for her back in 1990. And of course, we know Prince wrote that song originally for the family. And one of the somebody asked her what if her and Prince met, and she basically told the people that uh, their first, well, I don't know if it was their only interaction. It didn't go off too well. She made statements of he tried to beat her up, or he did beat her up, and uh, just he got real physical with her. So um, I've heard this story years ago from my man right here, Pete Ross. I remember he told me this. Uh, then I had heard something else that when they had met, or he went to go see her and was upset about something. So, I've heard different variations of this story, but this interview pretty much made headlines all over social media. So, so we're gonna just talk about it, give our take, and very controversial.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard this back in the early 90s, but I think, and don't nobody quote me on this, the story she told in this recent interview was different than the one that I heard back in the day. And I can't even remember if I read this or I saw this on like MTV somewhere. But it was said that she said in a recent interview that she came to his house. Now, if I'm not mistaken, back then it was said that he went to her house.
That's the way I had heard it.
But
And he had his bodyguards or something.
yeah, and there was like
Mm.
no physical altercation, but he cursed her out about doing nothing compares to you and not getting paid for it.
Mm.
That's what this was all about. Um, um, and that was like pretty much it. Some of the stuff I heard today, it's like just out of the blue. Okay, first,
Mm.
let me say this. We don't condone no woman getting beat up. None of that. We are totally against it. Domestic abuse, we're against it. So all of that. So anyway, I guess today she made some accusation that Prince was chasing her around a car and she was spitting at him, um, and he apparently got physical with her. The second thing I want to say is that Prince can't defend himself from these
Hmm.
accusations.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if he would even come out and like say anything, because this is stuff that has been said before. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm pretty sure, like when it came out back then, he heard about all this and what she was saying. So I don't know. My experience with people, especially, uh, again, I don't know if Prince did anything to her. All I know is that she's the only one that I've ever heard come out and say something like this about him. And she also made reference that it was other women that he apparently abused. You know what I'm saying? We already know Prince himself, you know what I'm saying, was by definition he had a lot of women. You know what I'm saying?
Player, player.
Right. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
and regardless of what the relationship was, I guess no one has ever came out and like said like, "Oh, he beat me." You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And again, he can't defend that, but I would say this like in my experience when people have stuff going on, you know what I mean, and they want to make a quick buck, they say things. You know what I'm saying, to get the attention on them, because apparently she's doing shows again now or something like that. You know, and that's the thing. I don't really know too much about Sinead O'Connor other than her biggest moment was Prince's "Nothing Compares to You." You know, I don't know that much
Mm.
about her. You know what I'm saying? I've never really listened to her music, and me personally, quite honest, her version of "Nothing Compares to You" is not that good to me. You know what I'm saying? But I know it was a smash hit for her. You know,
Right.
so um, there's been no one else, male or female, to come out and say some of the things that she said Prince did. So
Right.
just like when she came out a couple years ago and said that when Prince died, Arsenio Hall was his drug dealer or some shit like that.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, damn. And it's like that just came out the blue. Now, I think Arsenio sued her, and she took it back
Yeah.
and said she was sorry.
Right.
So, I'm almost feeling like whenever she wants attention, that's the biggest moment of her life. But not to mention that Steve Fargnoli was her manager too. So I wonder if there was something connected with all that. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
if he had something to do with, I don't know. I don't know. So what you think, bro?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a big accusation, to say that Prince, you know, physically beat you up or, I've heard things about her, like, well, I've heard, she's changed her story up quite a bit over the years. Uh, just real bizarre. Not to be funny, but when she said that they was chasing each other around the car and he had a pillow, it's kind of like what can he do with a pillow?
Right,
I mean, unless he grabbed you and smothered you with it,
right,
to the ground or something like that. But I mean, it ain't like he was running around a car chasing you with a bat. or anything like that. And I mean, she said he had a pillow, so that's a little strange to me. Like, just I don't know. I wasn't really buying. I definitely wasn't buying that. But then I've heard that she has mental illness. I've heard that. Um, I know that's a big issue a lot with people. I don't know, man. I don't really believe it. I like to think that that Prince was not like that. Like you said, she's the only one who's ever came out making these accusations. None of the other women have never came out and said anything remotely
Right.
even close to that. So,
I mean, even like side chicks.
right,
You know what I mean?
right. So, and I've seen things on Facebook, mainly in our group page where it did get a little heated with well, mainly one particular person. I'm not going to say the individual's name, but it just seemed like, I guess, to some people like that, it may be a question mark. Like, well, because we live in this whole Me Too movement and blah blah blah, things like that, and it's like I get it. Some people may be telling the truth, but not everybody's telling the truth.
Right.
Some things it's just a little questionable too with people coming out saying things. It's
Absolutely.
like there's probably a motive behind that too. You know, but I mean, for the people who actually do come out, who are actually victims that do speak their truths, I mean, you know, I can't be mad at that. But
Right.
I yeah, I'm just not really buying too much into it.
Right.
You know, like I said, I've heard more about Sinead O'Connor having mental illness, and I think it was a situation that happened with her last year. Like she was missing or something had happened with her last
Mm.
year. So,
Wow.
and like I said, and it's like things like that you have to bring to the table as well. You know, so I mean, only thing I can say about her is that hey man, if she's on meds, I hope she's doing what she got to do to you know take care of herself and just pray for her, man.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
You know. 'Cause like I don't think Prince would do that. But again, yo, you know what? Ain't no telling. But I don't think he would. So that's just where
well,
I'm at with it. And she just kind of sound kind of. Cause I swear back in the day, I thought the story was in the reverse where he went to her house or some shit
yeah,
like that.
that's the way I had heard
And
it.
now it's that she went to his house. Like I don't know if it's the same story she always told, but maybe somebody in the comment section could shed some light on it. Because I don't know much
Right.
about Sinead O'Connor. So what y'all think, people? Sinead O'Connor trying to drop some jewels on us,
Yeah.
and then gonna turn around and say that there's more women out there and they need to speak up if they're not afraid or they're afraid or whatever it was she said. It was crazy.
Right.
But
Yeah, because she did say something about she mentioned some female. She didn't give up no names, but somebody apparently had bruised ribs or something back in the day. It was in the
right,
hospital. I don't know who she was referring to. So,
right,
um, but yeah, man. But it's like I said, it was definitely a lot of heated fans or
yeah,
fans in the purple community.
yeah,
A couple mixed opinions. But let me just say something real quick. As far as our Facebook group page, we definitely do not mind when people engage into friendly, healthy debates. Um, I mean, just keep it respectful. Even if we understand like things. that we enjoy, that we get passionate about. But when it comes to like just going overboard, just disrespecting, people and cussing them out, like we're just not gonna tolerate that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's just for, future reference,
Right.
So I'm just not gonna do that, not gonna tolerate the disrespect. Because that's
Mm-hmm.
something I definitely pride myself on, is
Right.
respect. So
Yes, sir. So, what y'all think, people? Prince Sinead O'Connor. You know, what's up with it? You know. So, my name is Pete Ross.
and my name is Micah, aka CMS, and together we are the Purple Underground. Shout out to Lenny B, aka L Boogie, and the Good Luck Charm, Laura, aka LC.
Yeah. And
Until
we
next time,
peace.
and be wild. Positivity.